Yo, 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 yo. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
You've been wanting to do that all your life, haven't you?
Happy Sunday to you. Anybody?
Everybody.
And everybody.
Welcome to the third show of Hanging with Yummy and AJ. And so I'm still trying to do some technical things over here, so give me a second to make sure that I'm doing some stuff right. Okay, I believe we're on. I believe we're good. First of all, let me start by saying we do not own the rights to this music. And also, if you see us in the back drinking or eating, it's actually a little darker.
You said what?
It's a little dark. Oh.
It's a little dark.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean?
If you actually see us in the back eating, there we go. It was a little dark, y'all. I couldn't see y'all. Okay, so if you see us eating or drinking or anything, we're having Dunkin' Donuts. We kind of got out of bed late this morning, so we showered. He went and got something to eat, and I straightened up. So that's how you work it out.
Hey, girl.
So let me turn this music down a little bit. That keep easing up by itself. So I don't know what it's doing, babe.
Oh, wow.
No, because I'm in another app. Don't old boy me. Watch it. Okay, so today's topic is, again, we do not own the rights to this music. And if you see us in the back drinking something, we're having Dunkin' Donuts today. Our coffee for the day that we have every day.
We ain't in the back. We just eating. What do you mean you see us in the back? We ain't going nowhere.
Oh. Okay, so anyway, our topic for today is, let me back up. Last week, somebody inboxed me and they asked us a question about finances. So let me go back to last week, because last week's show was about finances. So they asked, do we file our taxes together? And how do you split the money if you get a refund?
We don't. We don't split the money. Matter of fact, I don't even know when I get a tax refund.
We do file our taxes together, though. And no, he doesn't know. He does know. He's just acting up. But as far as splitting the money, no, because the money goes to the household. Because back again, like we said last week, we put our money together. Our money is not separate, so it's not mine, it's not his, it's ours. So that was a question that was asked last week, so I wanted to come back and answer that question. So this
So I
week,
can get $400 in.
$400 what?
See what I'm saying? It ain't.
What you
It
want?
ain't ours. It's hers.
No, I'm saying, but let's talk. What you want $400?
I just mess with you. That's all. I
No,
really ain't know the truth. Just set you free.
babe. Let me see. Come here.
Yeah.
You got it. Why you didn't want me to get it?
You brought your hand.
No.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. I just got out the shower. Okay, so back again. This week's video is about how to balance marriage and children. So the first question we was asked was, do you go on getaways or vacations without the children? Yes, most definitely. But what we used to do when they were younger, we used to do a lot of getaways together, like weekend getaways or whatever. But we made sure they had a big vacation. Right.
Right. So, with that being said, it's the point of the balance. You and your mate always need quality time. But at the same time, don't neglect your children of their childhood and actually showing them a good time. So what we do is always make sure they get a great vacation and make sure we get some type of getaway. It might not be as elaborate as a children's vacation is, because it'd be a family vacation, which involves a lot more activity. Versus just me and her, we just pretty much want to go somewhere, relax and chill.
That's all we do.
Wow.
Huh?
Well,
Relax and chill.
that's it.
That's it. So yeah, that's what has worked for us. But since they've been older, now we can kind of do more.
Now we don't get vacation by ourselves anymore. Because they want to go everywhere we go.
I mean, everywhere. And you know what? We're cool with that.
But it's fine.
Because we enjoy our children.
Right.
We have fun together. And it's really nothing that we can do with or without our children. It doesn't matter, you know.
Right.
So back again, it's about balance.
So now it's a lot easier too now that they're older. So even when we out on vacation, we still get separate time from each other.
Right. They may do their thing, we may do our thing, and then we find a vacation that's good for both.
Right.
You know, where they can enjoy their time with some people and we can enjoy our time with some people, you know, so.
Right.
So the next question is, how do you balance quality time with each other and quality time with the children? Let me tell you something. We make sure, number one, that we get quality time with each other, because quality time is his love language. So I have to make sure every single day he gets some kind of time, whether we get in the car and go look at houses, whether we get in the car and go get us a cup of coffee, whether we get in the car just to get in the car. I mean, whatever we do, we make sure we have quality time together.
So we burn a lot of gas.
We do burn a lot of gas because we just get out, you know, and make sure it's just me and him. And then as far as the children, we know when they need time, because the children will say, hey, y'all want to watch a movie? We may not want to watch a movie, but guess what we do? We sit down and we watch a movie. Or the children may say, hey, y'all want to go for ice cream? We may not want ice cream, but guess what? You want ice cream. We go for ice cream. I don't be wanting ice cream. I be wanting other things, not ice cream. I'd rather have Publix cake.
You sure don't be eating it like you don't want it.
I knew you were gonna go there. Don't act. So it's just a balance. But what we have learned is we know our children's love language, so we know what they need, you know. And a lot of times, I mean, well, from the beginning, we had to take time and learn each individual child. You know, sometimes
Right.
they don't want to be bothered, and you know what? We have to be okay with that. And it may be days we want to be bothered, then they don't want to be bothered. But then come the next day, oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. Want to go buy games and be like, let's have family time, let's play games. But if we say let's play games, she might say, I don't want to play no games today.
Right.
So we just learn to go with the flow and have a balance in our marriage, you know.
And I know it can be a balance dealing with as far as quality time, because I know sometimes some children require a lot more quality time than others. Versus your mate might require a lot. You ain't that late, but a lot more your spouse probably require a lot of quality time. But you gotta actually, if you get into that situation, you gotta actually have that talk with your mate. Cause when it comes to children, because we actually brought them into this world, our responsibility to them is actually allowing them to have a great life. And we got to sacrifice ourselves at times to do what we can for our children, but not at the same time neglecting our spouse. Because at the end of the day, they're going to get older and leave. And then it's just going to be you and your spouse. So you don't want to put too much time on your children, all your time. So when they leave, you don't actually know who your spouse is or who you actually been married to this whole time, because you don't spend so much time with your children and forgot really what your spouse need, wants, or even like. So what tends to happen after children get older, people pretty much get a divorce. Because the whole time they just been doing it for the children instead of actually trying to work out their relationships too. So all I say just, sorry for that. All I say just make sure you give everybody in the house a balance. And what best work out too is family time. Because sometimes we got one child that want to play games, and we got another child that don't want to play games.
She want to watch movies.
You want to watch movies, but when it's game time, we convince her to come and play, and she wind up having a good time. But sometimes we got to be a little bit more convincing instead of just giving up on the situation and letting them just walk out. But it's all a work in progress dealing with quality time. So sometimes you want some you time.
Exactly. And then in there, you have to balance some time for yourself. Like something that I do for myself on a daily basis is I get up in the morning and I actually go get me a cup of coffee. I go get me a cup of coffee. I sit in the car and I just sit there for a minute. Or I may ride around and just look at what's going on. But I make sure I get my time. I make sure we get our time. And we make sure our children get their time. So it's basically a balance with everything. So, babe, I agree with everything that you said. I like that. Oh.
1 point for me.
Okay, yeah, well, okay. We're gonna go there.
Moving on.
So, the next question someone inboxed us asked me, how do you deal with disagreements in front of the children?
Boom. Gonna drop the bomb.
So, as far as the children...
That's good. That what's up.
That was good, wasn't it, Rooster? AJ did good. He did get a point.
All right.
So how do you deal with disagreements in front of the children? Let me tell you.
That's difficult at times.
Yeah, but what I can say is, as the children were growing up, we never, ever argued in front of the children. Never. They never seen it. If they did, it may have been 1 or 2 times. But they can't say that they've seen us really get mad, really argue, really fight. Now, has it happened? Hell yeah, it's happened.
Yeah, I got bruised and proved.
It's happened, but not in front of the children. We have learned that we are our children's first example. Right. We don't want them to have to go outside of us to find that example. We want them to be able to say, hey, my parents didn't argue. If they did have a disagreement, we never knew anything about it, or something. We just work it out. But as far as now, because they're older, we have had some disagreements in front of the children. Because back again, they need to see that we're not perfect. Because for a minute, I think the children was thinking, damn, our parents don't do nothing. They don't argue. They don't go out. They don't do nothing. So we had to turn back around and reevaluate what we do. Hey, best friend.
Yeah, and dealing with them disagreements, I do agree for real. Like, if it's in a disagreement, you need to take it to the room. And the reason I say that because a lot be saying that we really don't be mean. We just say a lot of stuff because we mad. And at the same time, as far as allowing the children to see your imperfections, that's keen too. Because a lot of our children be striving to be perfect and they be struggling with trying to be perfect and not make mistakes because they feel though we don't make any mistakes. But truth is we do, we make them all the time. So, but on disagreements, I just still say like, if you just gonna talk it out, it's fine. You know what I mean? But if you get to the point where it start getting escalated, yeah, you need to take it to the room because back again, a lot be said that you really don't mean, and we do know once it's said, you can't take it back.
Right, and back again, you're your child's first example.
Right.
So we don't want, some of the words that we have said to each other have been hurtful, And the thing about children seem to go towards their mom,
right,
more so towards their dad. So if children see a mama and daddy arguing, I mean, the mama could have started, the mama could be cussing, the mama could be hitting. Them children still gonna go for their mama.
We got a little balance in this house.
Yeah, we do. We do. We really do. Everybody think I'm the mean person. So yeah, you're right. You're right. But so as far as the disagreements, my advice is, if it's a disagreement that can help your children, have it in front of your children.
Have it in front of them.
But if it's a disagreement that you're having that has nothing to do with your children, or that can harm their thought, their emotions, their anything, do not have that disagreement. Go to the next room, go out the house, get in the car, take a ride, do whatever you need to do. Wait till the nighttime, whatever you need to do, so that it does not harm your children. Because think about this. Children live with these things for the rest of their lives,
Right.
And these are things that can harm our children. And that's something that we don't want to do. We want to do what's best for our children. And if that means shutting your mouth, shut your mouth. You know what I mean? Because I know, as far as me, I used to have a very, very controlling spirit. And what I didn't want to happen is...
You wanted me to say something,
yeah.
I won't even say that.
Oh, that means I'm better.
You will. You will. You're right.
So I had a very, very... I had a very controlling spirit.
I feel you, buddy.
And by me used to have a very controlling spirit, I used to basically treat him as though he was my son, not my husband. You know what I mean? And so what that was going to end up doing... I'm a
grown man.
And what that was going to end up doing, that was going to actually make our girls end up treating me in the same way. Which in our marriage is not about I'm the boss, you the boss. We in this together.
Or thinking they can treat a man the same way, and because that man all men ain't gonna react the same way like I do. And it could put them in danger.
Right. And like Rooster just said, Rooster said he still have nightmares. I mean, we have to think about how we raise our children, because your children will have nightmares. Your children will silently struggle and not say anything about what they're going through, because they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to deal with it. They feel as though they can't communicate about the situation. What you think?
Yeah, you pretty much head on with that.
Okay. So the next question is, that's number 4.
Who decides what the children can and cannot do? We both do. It's never one-sided because we both were raised totally different.
Totally different. I come from a strict household where I couldn't do things where everything was one way and that was all. I'm grateful for my parents, but I come from a household that I was expected to be perfect. I was not able to do a lot of things that I wanted to do. I had a curfew at an early age. If I didn't go to church on Sunday, I couldn't drive my car. It was just very, very strict. I went to a private school. Everything was just strict. So, but in his household,
I was free to be. I was free to make mistakes. I was free to do pretty much whatever you thought that you wanted to do and you couldn't do at home, I can do it. So we brought that together as a balance. It was difficult at first.
It was, because I was like, boy, we not gonna let these children do what they want to do. Have no opinion. None of that. That don't even sound right.
Right. I understand what you were saying, but then I had to let her know that's how you build your children's character.
And trust.
And trust. If you continue to tell them no and controlling their life, when you ask them what they want to do and they tell you they don't know, what you expect? Because from the past years, you've been telling them what they can and can't do. So what we do is allow them to actually be themselves. Like, I'm using my baby girl, for instance. She played soccer all the way up to high school. And she decided, when she got to high school, she wanted to play volleyball. Was I upset? Yeah, I was.
Ooh, he was upset.
But at the same time, that's something that she wanted to do. As long as you actually allow your children to do something that they want to do, they're going to put more into it versus you controlling what they want to do. And, like, even if either one of them come to us separately and ask us, we're going to always go to each other and sit down at the table because it's going to involve both of us anyway. It ain't like one person going to be able to do practice or one person going to pay for it because everything's together in this household. So we always come to a decision on what the children can and can't do. It really ain't really too much they can't do. But you know, we just talk. We always sit down at the table and come to an agreement because I do believe in children having an opinion because so many of us been raised up where we didn't have no opinion on nothing. So we think that's the way we're supposed to raise our children. But we all got to realize what did that do to us as adults. So what we got to do as parents is actually make it better. Make the generation better and better as we evolve as people. Well, that's just my opinion.
That's real good. That's real good. And you know, in this marriage, I've learned, because back again, I didn't know. I always thought things were supposed to be in order. You know what I mean? Order. But as we began to talk and communicate about our marriage and about our children, it ended up making sense.
Appreciate that, buddy.
Let the children be who they are. You know, because if not, they'll become adults who can't make decisions. You know?
Right.
And they'll become adults that's stuck, you know, and like, I don't know what I want to do. But so many times, because of what society is doing, we tell our children, you need to do this. You make sure you be a lawyer. You make sure you be a doctor. You make sure you do this. What if they decide that they want to do whatever they want to do? Because I'm not going to say any particular thing. But what if they decide they want to do something that you feel as though is not up to standards? As long as they are loving it, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It does not matter what they're doing. Allow them to be who they are. Allow them to go where they need to go. You know, we don't have to be that strict. And especially, trust the foundation that you've laid.
Right.
You know, I used to walk around and I used to be like, oh my goodness. And I still do sometimes. I have to say, I'm scared. I don't want them to do this. I don't want them to do that. But why am I scared? I'm scared because of the mistakes and the things that I've done. But I can't make what I've done their mistakes. I can't take it out on them, you know, because they're them and they're going to have to learn. And if they don't learn or if they don't go through these lessons, guess what? They won't grow. You know, so we have to allow them to be who they are. You know, we talk about everything. You know, some days the children may ask, can they do something? And I'm like, no. You know what? They know what to do. They go and ask their dad. Then their dad comes and we have a conversation.
Right, a real life conversation. To the point of my whole thing about this now, you rather your children make their mistakes now where you can control and help them versus them being an adult making them mistakes and stuff where they can't get out of it. So, in that way, they'll know how to deal with certain situations. Because if they don't ever make mistakes and you don't ever let them make mistakes, they going to just go through life really just blind. And then as an adult, I couldn't do this when I was little, so I'm going to do it now.
And they'll begin to hate you. You know, they'll hate you. You wouldn't let me do this. You wouldn't let me do that. And you know, let me say this. Our oldest, I was very strict on her. I was, because I didn't know any better. You know, if I could do it all over again, I would, but I can't. And, you know, I apologize to her for not allowing her to be her, make the mistakes that she needed to make to become the woman that she is, you know, versus I've learned since our youngest daughter. You know what I mean? Our youngest daughter, I help, you know, we allow her to be her. You know, even one day, our youngest daughter, she got pissed off, very mad. And I just sat back and I said, do what you need to do. She yelled and everything. Now, for a minute, he was looking like, what in the world are you doing? You know what I mean? And so, it was
Hey,
like,
I'll take it, but
and so, he was looking like, what in the world are you doing? She was yelling, she was screaming, but I allowed her to release because I can't say how she's feeling. I can't tell her how to feel. She goes to school, she deals with people, and she deals with all types of energies. You know what I mean? And so home should be a place where you have peace.
it should be a place where
You know what I mean?
peace.
And us as adults should not be the only ones that can release how we feel or say how we feel. That's not fair. It's not fair. But we want to have an open communication. If you have an issue, you come talk to us. You don't have to go talk to anybody else. It may not be what we want to hear.
It may not be what we want to hear.
But you come talk to us and let's deal with this together.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want you to have to go to somebody else's mama or somebody else's daddy and talk to them about something. Come to your mama and daddy and talk to us about whatever you need to talk to us about.
Whatever it is.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever it is.
And we will not judge you.
No, because we've been there before.
We've been there.
And I tell people, like, why are you getting upset at your children so much for some stuff you used to do?
Exactly.
The thing about it is, your job is to coach them away from it. Like, if they don't did it, okay. Look, these consequences come back again. They need to know that it is consequences in life. You just can't go around doing whatever you want to do without no consequences. But at the same time, don't get so upset like you just shocked like people doing that when it's something that you don't did yourself. So, I mean, and then some parents get upset about how their children talk, what their children do, but at the same time, you don't put them in them situations. You don't put them in them environments. You don't been talking any kind of way. And back again, we they role models, whether we know it or not. They might be looking at the videos, the TV, but number one, we are their role models. They gonna do what they see us do. It might not be coming in that order, but trust and believe they watching. So you gotta be careful about what environments you bring them in and what you introduce them into. Cause back again, they pick up on everything.
Right. How do you take them in an environment where people are drinking or you drinking or whatever, but then you get mad if they're drinking?
Right.
Watch what you're doing if that's the case. You
You're
know
right.
what I mean?
We most definitely is creatures of habit.
Why get mad at your children if you hear them say a cuss word? Where did they hear that first curse word from? And I understand people say, well, I'm grown, I can do whatever I want to do. But you are an example and you decide to have these children.
Right.
So be that example and don't get mad when they go to the street looking for love. I mean, that's just point blank. That don't get mad when they go to the street looking for love or go wherever they go looking for love, So our next question, does anybody have anything to say? It's moving so fast, y'all. But we are really grateful for y'all coming on Sunday, listening to us. And if you have any topics, if you have any questions, feel free to, ask the questions. Yes, my daughter tells me that all the time. She always says, Mom, I'm glad to get your life in order now. Exactly. It's never too late to get your life in order.
Never too late.
It's never too late. That is a great point. It's never too late. And the thing about it is, we as parents should want to get our life together for our children, and for ourselves, Well,
I'll just read what your buddy said.
So, and we do this every Sunday. We do it every Sunday at 12 o'clock noon. So every Sunday at 12 o'clock. So if you have any questions or anything, like I said, you can inbox me or you can inbox him with your questions, and we'll talk about them. Because families need this. Families need to understand that
it's a different way.
Right.
We ain't got to go by the way that our great-grandparents did or way our parents even raised us. Because back again, these children that we are raising are different versus we were different. Even though every generation is different, down to the clothes, the music, the entertainment. So everything got to be different. We can't do the same old thing that our parents did.
Because you would most definitely not get the same results.
We won't get the same results. So, what's the next question,
So
babe?
communicate. So the next one is, how do you decide what the children should or should not get? And the person put clothes, cars, etc. This, that, and another. We just do. We really stopped celebrating Christmas a while back as far as the giving of the gifts and everything. We just do year round. You know, if they want something and I'm not even going to say deserve it. If they want something and we feel as though they should have it, they get it, you know.
So, to piggyback off that on what they should and should not get, back again, I'm a firm believer of children earning things. But it's a fine line between I gave it my all and I didn't even care. Because we all know all our children not age students. That's just bottom line. Everybody child ain't gonna sit down and read books all day. We got some children just like to play all the time and be, but still need to get their work done. But far as when it come down to, if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get what they want. That's just me personally. If I figure they earned it, and what I mean by earning is pretty much doing your daily stuff that you need to do. Like we get on our children all the time, like cleaning up their rooms and stuff.
And still, if they ask him for a pair of shoes, he gonna go get them.
They clean up their room and stuff. My whole thing about it is, just giving, and they being disrespectful. Definitely that line got to be drawn. Because that's when you pretty much creating a yes monster. And what I mean about that is, I'm going to get my way all the time regardless of what. If I don't, I'm going to throw a temper tantrum. So when you see that right there, again to that climax point where they just start getting disrespectful because you telling them no, yeah, then you got to cut something back. But I'm not going to say, if they going to say, Daddy, can I have some Jordans? I ain't going to get them no Jordans. If I can't afford it, that's different. We had that conversation. But if I can, I'm not going to go and get them nothing that they don't want. Because what sense does that make? You rather just don't get them nothing at all rather than getting them something they don't want, because then you got another attitude to deal with. Just as far as you. If somebody bring you something that you don't want, you going to get an attitude about it. And what the first thing you going to say? You rather not, you shouldn't even gave me nothing at all.
Right.
So when it comes down to different stuff like the clothes, car, whatever it is, if they want it, they should get it. If you're going to give it to them, give them what they want. That's just my point. If you can afford it, now don't go out your way and break your back if you can't. Because
it's okay.
it's okay.
That conversation.
But have that conversation. Like, be real with your children that time. Because back again, a lot of children don't know the value of $1. Most children don't know that the reason you be at work all the time and you be at home all the time because you paying your bills. You might can't afford no $200 pair of shoes. So don't be like, shoot, I ain't getting them, they ain't too expensive. Be real with them, like, look, straight up. I just paid rent. I can't afford it.
I just paid the light bill,
And the thing about it is, yeah, they might not understand it, but after a while, they will. They gonna get it. Because a lot of us, we want children to actually pick up on things as we tell them. But just like us, people had to tell us stuff 1,000,000 times over and over again before we actually got it. Even as adults, we understand now what our parents went through now because of what we going through. But as children, we didn't understand. But a lot of parents too hid stuff, so we didn't know. So now, even now, we let the children know for about, oh, this right here costs such and such. This right here costs such and such. Because if you don't let them know, they ain't gonna never understand. Like $20 to us could be a lot versus to a child. $20 ain't nothing. So all I say is just pretty much just have an open conversation when it comes down to material stuff. Like, if you want the best of best, you gotta give me the best of best. Like, you gotta actually take care of. My whole thing about the issue with my children is do the things that you're supposed to do without me telling you, which allows you to get the world. But if I gotta tell you all the time to do something, nah. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
And we don't ask for much.
Yeah, we
ask
don't.
them, keep your room clean, keep your bathroom clean, and whatever area you use in the house, just keep it clean. Clean up after yourself. But besides that, we don't make it like, go clean up my room, go clean up my bathroom, do this or that. I remember them days. So no, we don't do that. We just ask them to do what they need to do for themselves to keep their area clean. And it works.
Right.
So I guess we have taken up enough of your time this week, and we are grateful for everyone that came and joined. Peace, family. And next week's live will be about how do you deal with in-laws? How do you deal with your mate's family? Like, that's really going to be a really good one.
Boom.
So if you have anything that you want us to discuss, any questions about that, inbox me. Inbox me, because that right there, I hear about that all the time.
Love you
we
too,
love you
brother.
too. We hear about that all the time. So like I said, join us again next Sunday at noon.
You're so welcome.
And we're talking about how do you deal with in-laws. We're grateful for you. Have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you guys. Love you guys. If no one's told you that we love you, that they love you, we want to say we love you. Peace.
Peace.